the war between your mind and your body. You consciously want wealth. You think about it, plan for it, work toward it. But there's a part of you, a deeper, more primitive part, that's actively sabotaging your success. This isn't your fault, and you're not broken. Here's what's happening. Your conscious mind wants money, but your subconscious mind sees wealth as a life-threatening danger. And in the battle between conscious desire and subconscious programming, the subconscious wins every single time. Your mind wants money. Your body wants survival. And until you understand why your subconscious has coded wealth as a threat, you'll keep experiencing the same frustrating pattern, getting close to success and then somehow sabotaging it right at the threshold. Let me explain the fundamental conflict that's running your financial life. Your conscious mind, the part of you that's logical, goal-oriented, and aware, controls about 5% of your behavior. The other 95%? That's controlled by your subconscious mind, which operates below your awareness and runs on programming installed mostly in the first 7 years of your life. And here's the critical insight. Your subconscious mind doesn't care about your goals or your dreams. It cares about one thing only: keeping you alive. Your subconscious operates on a simple principle. Familiar equals safe, unfamiliar equals dangerous. This made sense for your ancestors. If they wandered into unfamiliar territory, they might encounter predators. If they stayed in familiar territory, they knew the dangers and how to avoid them. So the subconscious evolved to keep you in the familiar, even when the familiar is painful, limiting, or keeps you broke. Your subconscious would rather keep you in familiar struggle than risk unfamiliar abundance because unfamiliar feels dangerous. Now here's where it gets really problematic. If you grew up in an environment where wealth was unfamiliar, your subconscious coded wealth as dangerous. Maybe your family struggled financially. Maybe you never saw examples of healthy wealth. Maybe money was associated with stress, fighting, or fear. Your subconscious absorbed all of this and created a program. Wealth equals danger, struggle equals safety. And now, as an adult trying to create abundance, your subconscious is fighting you every step of the way. This explains so many confusing behaviors. Why you work so hard but can't seem to break through to the next level. Why you get close to success and then sabotage yourself. Why you have brilliant ideas but don't implement them. Why you undercharge for your services. Why you spend money as soon as you make it. Why you create drama or problems right when things start going well. None of this is character failure. It's your subconscious doing its job, protecting you from the perceived danger of wealth by keeping you in the familiar zone of struggle. Think about it. Every time you've almost broken through financially, what happened? Something went wrong. An unexpected expense. A health crisis. A relationship problem. A client who didn't pay. A bad decision. You probably blamed bad luck or external circumstances. But what if it wasn't external at all? What if your subconscious, perceiving the threat of unfamiliar abundance, created those problems to pull you back to familiar territory where it knows you can survive? Your subconscious has what I call threat associations with wealth. Specific ways that it has learned to perceive money as dangerous. Maybe it learned that wealthy people are greedy or corrupt, so having wealth would make you a bad person. Maybe it learned that money causes family conflict, so having money threatens your belonging. Maybe it learned that financial success means being visible and judged, which triggers rejection fears. Whatever the specific associations, your subconscious is protecting you from these perceived threats by keeping you from wealth. The most insidious part is that this all happens unconsciously. You're not aware that your subconscious is sabotaging you. You just notice that despite your best efforts, your financial situation doesn't change. You conclude that you're not good enough, or wealth isn't meant for you, or the universe doesn't support you. But the real issue is that you have subconscious money blocks, programs running in the background that perceive wealth as a threat and actively prevent you from achieving it. Understanding this changes everything. It means you're not failing. You're not manifesting wrong. You don't lack discipline or talent. You simply have a subconscious program that needs to be identified and reprogrammed. your subconscious learned that wealth is dangerous. You can learn that wealth is safe. But you have to speak the language of the subconscious, work with it directly, and compassionately help it update its outdated programming. How wealth became a threat to your survival. To heal your subconscious money blocks, you need to understand exactly how and when your subconscious learned to perceive wealth as dangerous. Because these aren't random associations. They were created through specific experiences, usually in childhood, when your brain was most impressionable and before you had the capacity to question what you were learning. Your subconscious was downloading survival information, and some of that information coded wealth as a threat. The first and most common way wealth becomes a threat is through associating money with loss of love or belonging. If you grew up in a family or community where struggling was the norm, your subconscious learned that struggling equals belonging. Everyone you loved was struggling, so struggling became your ticket to connection. Now, as an adult, when you start to succeed financially, your subconscious panics because succeeding means leaving your tribe behind, and to your subconscious, being cast out of the tribe is a death sentence. This is why so many people feel guilty when they start to earn more than their parents or siblings. It's not just psychological guilt, it's a subconscious survival threat. Your subconscious is saying, if you become wealthy, you'll be different from your family, they won't understand you, you'll lose connection, and you'll be alone. For social creatures like humans, abandonment and isolation are perceived as life-threatening. So your subconscious sabotages your wealth to keep you connected to your tribe. Another common pathway is associating wealth with corruption or moral failure. Maybe you grew up hearing money is the root of all evil, or rich people are greedy, or you can't be wealthy and spiritual. Your subconscious absorbed these messages and created a program. Wealth equals being a bad person. Now your subconscious protects you from becoming a bad person by preventing you from becoming wealthy. You stay good by staying broke. This is completely subconscious. Consciously you don't believe this, but the program is running underneath. Wealth can also become coded as dangerous if it was associated with stress, chaos, or instability in your childhood. Maybe your family had money but were miserable. Maybe money came and went unpredictably, creating anxiety. Maybe financial success in your family was paired with overwork, exhaustion, or neglect. Your subconscious learned, money equals suffering, money equals chaos, money equals losing what really matters. So now it protects you from that suffering by keeping you from wealth. For some people, wealth becomes a threat because it means increased visibility and vulnerability. Maybe someone in your family was successful and then was criticized, attacked, or brought down. Your subconscious learned, success makes you a target, wealth makes you vulnerable to judgment and attack. Now your subconscious keeps you small and invisible because that feels safer than being visible and exposed. The pain of staying small feels less threatening than the potential pain of being seen and criticized. There's also the phenomenon of survivor's guilt. If someone you loved struggled or suffered financially, especially if they sacrificed for you, your subconscious might have created a program that says, it's not okay for me to have more than they did. You unconsciously limit yourself out of loyalty to their struggle. Your subconscious reasons that if you succeed where they failed or suffered, you're somehow betraying them or proving their struggle was unnecessary. So it keeps you at their level or below to honor their sacrifice. Sometimes wealth becomes threatening because of a specific traumatic event involving money. Maybe your family lost everything. Maybe there was a bankruptcy, a foreclosure, a financial devastation. In that moment, your nervous system went into survival mode, and money, or the loss of it, got coded as life-threatening. Now, even thinking about having significant wealth triggers that old trauma response. Your subconscious is trying to protect you from experiencing that pain again by keeping you from situations where you could lose money, which unfortunately means keeping you from having money in the first place. Another subtle but powerful way wealth becomes a threat is through identity protection. Your subconscious has a very clear sense of who you are, and that identity was formed early in life. If your identity is, I'm the one who struggles, or I'm not the successful one, or I'm the helper, not the one who receives, then becoming wealthy would require destroying that identity. And to your subconscious, identity death feels like actual death. It will defend your current identity, even a painful one, because at least it's familiar and you know how to survive with it. The hidden ways your subconscious blocks wealth. Once your subconscious has decided that wealth is a threat, it employs incredibly sophisticated strategies to protect you from that threat. These strategies are so subtle that you usually don't recognize them as self-sabotage. You just experience them as bad luck, unfortunate circumstances, or proof that wealth isn't meant for you. But they're actually your subconscious doing its job, keeping you safe from the perceived danger of abundance. One of the most common strategies is what I call the success ceiling. Your subconscious allows you to achieve a certain level of financial success, but no more. You can get to $50,000 a year, but every time you approach $60,000, something happens. An unexpected expense. A loss of clients. A bad investment. Your subconscious has determined that $50,000 is safe, but $60,000 ventures into dangerous territory. So it creates circumstances that keep you at your ceiling, and you never understand why you can't break through. Another strategy is the prosperity drama cycle. Right when money starts flowing, your subconscious creates a crisis that drains the money away. Suddenly, you need a new transmission, or a family member needs help, or you make an impulsive purchase you can't afford, or a health issue emerges that costs money. These aren't coincidences. Your subconscious is regulating your wealth, ensuring you don't accumulate too much because accumulation triggers the threat response. You can have money flow through you, but you can't hold onto it. Your subconscious also uses the strategy of invisibility. If wealth means visibility and vulnerability, your subconscious will keep you hidden. You won't market your business effectively. You won't network or put yourself out there. You'll have brilliant ideas but never share them publicly. You'll undercharge because charging what you're worth would draw attention. You stay small, stay quiet, stay under the radar, not because you're shy, but because your subconscious has determined that invisibility equals safety. Perfectionism is another subconscious blocking strategy. Your subconscious convinces you that you need to be perfect before you can launch, charge more, or claim success. So you endlessly prepare, refine, and perfect, but you never actually put yourself out there. This keeps you safe from the risk of failure, rejection, or success, all of which trigger threat responses in your subconscious. Perfectionism isn't about excellence. It's a protection mechanism that keeps you from actually achieving the wealth that would threaten your system. Your subconscious also employs what I call strategic incompetence in financial matters. You're smart and capable in other areas of your life, but when it comes to money, you're suddenly bad with numbers, or don't understand business, or can't manage finances. This incompetence isn't real. It's a subconscious strategy that allows you to avoid fully engaging with wealth creation because full engagement would lead to success, and success triggers the threat response. By being incompetent, you have a built-in excuse for why you're not wealthy. Relationship sabotage is another common strategy. Your subconscious creates conflict with partners, mentors, or collaborators right when a lucrative opportunity is about to manifest. The conflict either derails the opportunity entirely or consumes so much energy that you can't show up effectively. Your subconscious knows that destroying relationships is an effective way to prevent wealth, especially if wealth opportunities come through connection and collaboration. The conflict feels real and justified in the moment, but the timing reveals the subconscious sabotage pattern. Another subtle strategy is what I call wealth deflection, automatically minimizing, dismissing, or deflecting any success or money that comes your way. Someone compliments your work and you deflect. Someone wants to pay you well and you offer a discount. Money comes in and you immediately think of reasons why it's not enough or won't last. Your subconscious can't prevent the money from showing up entirely, so it prevents you from acknowledging, claiming, or building on it. You literally can't see or receive the abundance that's present. Your subconscious also uses analysis paralysis to block wealth. You research endlessly. You take course after course. You consume content constantly. You're always learning but never earning. This keeps you in the safe zone of preparation without the risky zone of implementation. Because implementation leads to results, and results would trigger your wealth threat response. So your subconscious keeps you busy with learning, which feels productive but never leads to the wealth that would endanger your survival programming. Reprogramming your subconscious for wealth safety. Now that you understand how your subconscious perceives wealth as a threat and the strategies it uses to protect you, let's talk about how to actually reprogram it. This isn't about positive thinking or affirmations, those only reach your conscious mind. To reprogram your subconscious, you need to work in the language of the subconscious: emotion, repetition, imagery, and felt safety. Here's how to help your subconscious learn that wealth is safe, not threatening. The first step is subconscious dialogue. Your subconscious isn't your enemy, it's trying to protect you based on outdated information. So you need to have a conversation with it. In a quiet, meditative state, thank your subconscious for trying to keep you safe. Acknowledge the fears and threats it perceives around wealth. I understand you learned that wealth threatens our belonging. I understand you're trying to protect us from being rejected or hurt. This acknowledgement creates rapport with your subconscious instead of fighting against it. Then, gently provide new information. But we're adults now. We're safe. We can be wealthy and still be loved. We can have money and still be good people. Having wealth doesn't mean we'll be abandoned or attacked. I'm going to show you that wealth is safe. You're not arguing or forcing. You're compassionately updating the programming with new information, spoken in a tone of care and safety. This works because your subconscious responds to emotional tone, not just words. The second technique is creating new associations through visualization combined with emotion. Your subconscious learned its wealth threat associations through emotional experiences. To reprogram it, you need to create new emotional experiences where wealth equals safety, not danger. Close your eyes and visualize yourself with wealth, but don't just see the money. Feel the safety, the peace, the love, the belonging that comes with it. Your subconscious stores information as feelings, so you're installing new feelings about wealth. Visualize specific scenarios that trigger your wealth blocks, but change the outcome. If your subconscious associates wealth with family rejection, visualize yourself wealthy and still deeply connected to your family. If it associates wealth with being a bad person, visualize yourself wealthy and more generous and kind than ever. You're showing your subconscious that the feared outcome doesn't have to happen. Wealth can exist alongside the things your subconscious is trying to protect: love, belonging, safety, goodness. The third powerful technique is regression work. Going back to the original experiences where your subconscious learned wealth was dangerous and healing those experiences. You can do this in therapy, in guided meditations, or through journaling. Identify a specific memory where you learned a negative association with money. Revisit that memory as your adult self. Comfort your younger self. Provide new information. Rewrite the meaning of the experience. This can create profound shifts in your subconscious programming because you're going directly to the source code. Another essential practice is gradual exposure with safety anchoring. Your subconscious needs evidence that wealth is safe, not just verbal assurances. So you gradually expose yourself to increasing levels of wealth while simultaneously anchoring in safety. Maybe you start by allowing yourself to keep $100 in your account without spending it. As you practice this, you breathe, you relax your body, you repeat, "I am safe with money." You're teaching your subconscious through direct experience that having money doesn't trigger the feared outcomes. Then you increase the amount. $500, $1,000, $5,000. At each level, you practice being with the money without the threat response activating. If you feel fear, you don't push through it. You acknowledge it, breathe through it, and prove to yourself that you're safe. Over time, your subconscious learns that it can tolerate increasing levels of wealth without anything bad happening. Your wealth thermostat adjusts upward because your subconscious has new evidence. Identity work is also crucial. Your subconscious will defend your current identity, so you need to consciously create a new identity where wealth is integrated. Write out detailed descriptions of who you are as a wealthy person. Not just what you have, but who you are. Your values, your character, your relationships, your impact. Show your subconscious that you can be wealthy and still be essentially you, still be safe, still be loved, still be good. The more detailed and emotionally resonant this new identity is, the more your subconscious can accept it. Living with a wealth-safe subconscious. Once you've begun the work of reprogramming your subconscious to perceive wealth as safe rather than threatening, your entire relationship with money transforms. But this isn't a one-time fix. It's an ongoing practice of deepening the new programming and catching old patterns when they resurface. Living with a wealth-safe subconscious means being in partnership with this powerful part of yourself, rather than in constant conflict with it. The first thing you'll notice is a dramatic decrease in self-sabotage. Those mysterious obstacles that always appeared right before your breakthrough, they stop showing up as frequently. The drama that used to drain your money, it resolves or doesn't occur in the first place. The resistance you felt around financial actions, it softens. This is your subconscious relaxing its protective stance because it no longer perceives wealth as a mortal threat. You're no longer fighting yourself, which means your energy can actually go toward creating wealth instead of unconsciously preventing it. You'll also notice that you can hold increasing amounts of money without anxiety or the compulsion to spend it. Your wealth thermostat has been adjusted. Amounts that used to trigger panic or immediate spending now feel comfortable and safe. Your subconscious has learned through repeated exposure and positive association that having money doesn't lead to the feared outcomes: rejection, corruption, loss, attack. So it allows you to accumulate and hold wealth without triggering sabotage mechanisms. Your decision-making around money becomes clearer and more aligned. When your subconscious isn't frantically trying to protect you from wealth, you can think clearly about financial opportunities. You can evaluate risk accurately instead of through a lens of subconscious fear. You can say yes to opportunities that genuinely serve you and no to opportunities that don't, rather than saying yes to everything out of scarcity or no to everything out of fear. Your decisions come from wisdom rather than from subconscious threat response. You'll find that you naturally start taking actions that create wealth, actions that your subconscious previously blocked. You'll raise your prices without agonizing over it. You'll market yourself without hiding. You'll have financial conversations without shrinking. You'll invest in your growth without guilt. These actions feel natural now because your subconscious isn't generating resistance. In fact, once your subconscious understands that wealth is safe, it starts supporting your wealth creation rather than sabotaging it. Interestingly, you'll also notice that your wealth becomes more stable and sustainable. When you were operating with subconscious money blocks, any wealth you created was temporary because your subconscious would sabotage it back down to your comfort zone. But now that your subconscious perceives wealth as safe, it allows wealth to stay. You stop experiencing the feast or famine cycles. You stop creating drama that drains your resources. Money accumulates because your subconscious no longer needs to regulate it away. You'll also experience a profound sense of peace around money. The anxiety, the obsession, the constant worry, these diminish significantly. Not because you've become rich, but because your subconscious is no longer in a constant state of threat response around finances. Money becomes neutral, a tool, rather than emotionally charged. This peace isn't complacency. You still care about and work toward wealth, but the emotional charge has dissolved because the subconscious threat has been healed. One unexpected gift is that your relationships often improve. Many relationship problems are actually rooted in money stress and the behaviors that come from subconscious wealth blocks. When you heal your subconscious relationship with wealth, you're less reactive, less defensive, less prone to creating conflict around money. Your relationships can become more genuine and connected because they're not distorted by your subconscious survival programming. The ongoing practice is maintaining awareness of your subconscious patterns and continuing to reinforce the new programming. Old patterns can resurface, especially during stress or when you're approaching a new level of wealth. When you notice old sabotage patterns trying to activate, you now have the tools to intervene. You can dialogue with your subconscious, reassure it, provide evidence of safety, and choose aligned action instead of sabotage. Living with abundance healing means understanding that your subconscious is always learning. Every positive experience with wealth reinforces the new programming that wealth is safe. Every time you receive money and nothing bad happens, your subconscious updates its model of reality. Every time you hold wealth without catastrophe, your capacity expands. You're in a positive feedback loop where wealth safety creates more wealth, which creates more evidence of safety, which allows more wealth. So here's the truth. Your subconscious doesn't hate you or want you to fail. It loves you so much that it's trying to protect you from what it genuinely believes is a life-threatening danger. Your job is to compassionately help it understand that wealth is no longer a threat. Show it through experience, through feeling, through repetition that having money doesn't lead to the feared outcomes. And as your subconscious relaxes its protective stance, watch as the wealth you've been working so hard for finally flows to you, because the internal blocks have been removed and your subconscious is finally on your side.